この森の小屋にあれで一瞬報いてやる。
技の終わり、すなわち斬新にて気を整えるべし。さすれば心静まり、再び気力充実せ。
You're gonna be okay. You're standing, but you have to sit absolutely still. Hey, you! Come here! I need to get the woman away from the shield. Take her over there. Stay with her. If I can track you, turn any closer, 3 hands apart, call out. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Hey! What's it? Jump! Stop! Head back those far back enough. You're blowing air into her stomach. Sure? That's exactly what I was doing. I'm a lights on. You know, we seriously think about giving that leg back. Maybe we do those whole things. You don't think they're paying the front? Yeah, good idea. You go get these things. Come on. Come on. Come on. You? Stay with her. Dude, I'm nothing anywhere.
いずこを惑うつくも神、御身に慈しみの心あらば、そのおましどころへとお連れしたまえ。
すまねえな。俺だって命が欲しいんだ。
I didn't know which one was best. They're all good.
They say that reality is stranger than fiction. Ali's fight against Chuck Webner wasn't supposed to be anything spectacular, but a display of indomitable spirit and otherworldly toughness culminated in a moment that inspired the pivotal boxing blockbuster, Rocky. Fresh from his rumble in the jumble knockout over George Foreman, Ali was once again the baddest man on the planet. The powers that be decided that the new, and once again heavyweight champion, needed a break from world-class opposition. Ali, just like his fantasy counterpart, Apollo Creed, wanted a tune-up. So, in an unexpected turn, promoters settled on part-time pugilist Chuck Webner as Ali's next opponent. Just like the character Rocky, Webner was, by all accounts, an unlikely heavyweight contender. The 35-year-old New Jersey native was a 6'5" brawler, known for his borderline illegal roughhousing tactics and rock-solid durability. That said, his sturdy chin needed a lot of tissue paper. His losses to George Foreman and Sonny Liston both ended because he got cut.
I think Harry Gibbs is going to stop it. The manager's suggesting success.
But after stringing together enough wins, he finally cracked the heavyweight top 10, granting him a long shot, but a legitimate shot, at a world title bout. Regardless, Ali opened as such a big favorite that odd makers wouldn't take bets on the fight. Ali was noticeably out of shape before the fight. He weighed in at the heaviest of his career thus far. Meanwhile, Webner spent months in the Catskill Mountains. For the first time in his career, he had a full professional training camp. For Webner, it was the opportunity of a lifetime, a chance he was never supposed to get. Webner told his wife before the fight, "I want to prove I belong there." On April 24, 1975, at the Richfield Coliseum in Ohio, Chuck Webner would stun the crowd. It would become one of the most shocking moments of Ali's entire career. The first bell rang out, and Webner stormed out of his corner to meet Ali in the center. But Ali wasn't here for a firefight, or even a real fight. He was here to put on a show. He glided across the campus, strafing from side to side, even the slightest shuffle pulling cheers from the crowd. Even as Wepner seemed to be closing in, Ali would stop short, break his rhythm with footwork or a feint, then glide away from a befuddled Wepner. In Rocky, this is where our lovable underdog would shock the world with a stunning knockdown of the taunting Apollo Creed. But this wasn't a movie, and the real-life Muhammad Ali was simply a class above his plotting adversary, emulating Willie Pep by not throwing a single punch until near the tail end of the round. The one shot Wepner was getting through was looping rabbit punches, which was not part of Ali's script. After no intervention from referee Tony Perez, Ali went ballistic, beating the back of Wepner's head like a drum until the ref finally stepped in. In the second round, Ali changed his performance, trading in dancing shoes for cement boots. He shelled up against the ropes, as he had against Foreman. Shouting at Wepner, did his best to crack through Ali's armor. Though he treated Ali like a punching bag, most of Chuck's punches looked like an exercise in futility. Ali only came to life after 4 punches behind the head. In his go-to strategy, he closed the round with crisp combinations that cracked at Wepner like a whip. It was just like Ali to stay defensive until the tail end of the round. He would then unleash his offense against a tired competitor, scoring more points in the last half minute than his opponent had during the entire round. And this pattern of dancing, showing up, and stealing the end of the round would repeat well past the halfway point of the fight. Ali played the classics. He floated from pillar to post, swelling Wepner's face with pinpoint jabs, occasionally stabbing his midsection to sap his energy. When Chuck tried to return the favor, Ali remained elusive as ever, leaning out of harm's way and turning his chin at the last second, watching Wepner's gloves sail by.
Don't underestimate the speed and tremendous boxing ability of Muhammad Ali.
He landed thunderous counters, testing Wepner's rock-hard chin in the process, cold countering with hard right hands.
This one cuts right through into Wepner's nose. That time he almost swallowed his mouth.
These punches stopped Wepner in his tracks. Fine, he was still there. A much tougher puzzle than anyone, including Ali, had anticipated. Ali had done his best to end it early. Wepner would not stop lumbering forward. Really slowing him to 8 rounds. Even more frustrating. Chuck's 30. Several times Ali landed a deep right. Wepner would just keep punching like it didn't happen. Landing a hard right on the knee just a moment later. And the first minute against Ali's chin was. His side really fast. And out of that, Wepner's 2 days of touch. Much more boxing said it's still pretty much detailed, but then Wepner was word. Pair of clean jabs before clubbing a hard right to Ali's midsection, sending him careening to the mat. broadcasters, the crowd, and Ali himself couldn't disguise their total disbelief. Not only was Webner still there, he had knocked down perhaps the greatest fighter to ever live. In Ali's mind, he couldn't believe the ref was counting a blatant trip as an official knockdown. And in fact, Webner stepped on his foot when he hit the body shot. But regardless of what sent Ali down, Webner had put him there. And in that moment, Chuck had reached beyond his upper limit, reminding the world that if you show up, give it your all, and never give up, you can achieve something that no one else had ever dreamed you could. This was Webner's Rocky moment. To the soundtrack of a roaring crowd and a counting ref, Ali climbed to his feet. He immediately met Webner in the center, fighting with a renewed purpose: revenge. Chuck went back to work, punching in unison with Ali's counters. But now Ali was serious. Sitting down on his punches, he slammed Webner with a stout left hook. Webner was clearly rattled and had to catch himself on the ropes as he stumbled forward. Ali pursued, but Webner was resilient to the punishment. Showing insane mental toughness, he battled his way up the ropes. Getting flipped by leather and swatting at air, he still, astonishingly, ended the round by pushing Ali back mid-ring. And over the next 4 rounds, Webner continued to hold on. Ali landed combination after combination, casting heaps of damage.
Ali is serious as cancer, and more direct as a heart attack than rather difficult. You're exactly right there.
Still, Webner wouldn't give up, sauntering into range to wing haymakers. The crowd watched on the edge of their seats, wondering if Webner could pull off the same feat again. But Ali at this point fought with an almost manic desire to put Webner down. But no one, not George Foreman, nor Sonny Liston, had been able to drop Webner before. That didn't stop Ali from trying. Throwing so hard in the 12th, he spun himself in a circle. Webner, ever bold, threw up his hands and taunted him. Ali tried walking Webner into shots, caught him with lightning-fast lead hands, and even threw body hooks, an extreme rarity for the champion. But Webner kept throwing.
You ever watched every Charles in his heyday?
Yes, I did.
Ali got that same kind of reason.
Ali would land 10 punches, and Webner would still be right there to manage a big shot of his own. Even though they were rare, they still did damage.
Bullshit!
Even in the 14th round, Webner, now trying to make out his opponent through eyes that were nearly shut, was still careening towards Ali.
It kind of bothers me that back to Webner just won't go down.
After 42 minutes of lopsided abuse, Chuck landed maybe his best counter, slipping far to the left, moving towards Ali's cross to land a tremendous cross of his own. And then, somehow, the 15th and final round arrived. This was Ali's last chance to get even. For Webner, crossing the finish line would mean the culmination of a dream. He had given his all. For him, hearing the final bell would sound just as sweet as and new. He could have gone 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali. Something no one believed he was capable of doing. The bell rang out for the final time. Ali was incensed, but completely preserved with unending flurries, throwing with bad intentions. He simply would not stop, but neither would Chuck. He threw lightning-fast flurry, Somehow, Webner kept coming. Until Ellie stepped back and connected with a hook-cross combination. After 15 rounds of chipping at Wetner's granite chin, it finally exploded into pieces. Chuck wobbled, the world spinning, somehow still standing. Ellie drove forward, again spinning himself in a circle. But this time, Wetner was not capable of taunting Ali. He was completely focused on survival, if, in that moment, he even knew where he was. Ali clubbed him against the ropes. Wetner somehow momentarily escaped, but he stumbled forward, eyes on the floor, got his bearings and turned towards Ali, just in time to see the glove that sent him down for the first and only time in his professional career. Wetner clung to the ropes and tried to climb them like a ladder, desperate to survive the last 19 seconds of the fight. In the movie, Rocky gets back up with one last push against Apollo, but in reality, the referee... Even though Wetner didn't hear the final bell, his toughness and dogged determination shocked and inspired him. In modern-day boxing, it's easy to forget that winning isn't everything. Not in the grand scheme of things. What people remember is how you fought. To paraphrase my favorite philosophy, in great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. Wetner's incredible effort inspired Sylvester Stallone to write Rocky, a movie that, in turn, inspired millions of people around the world to keep going towards their dream, even when things are their toughest. And if you love great martial arts fiction, you can check out our comic book, Mortal Weapons, link below. Modern martial arts experts that David Christian, wishing you happy training.
Everyone that's saying right now, well, they're not releasing the list because your premise on it. Okay. In a rare instance, that means okay. Release the list. But here's the thing: if he was on that list, do you think Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the administration would have released it if he was on it? I mean, you guys, they tried to kill us.
The rare instance that he's on it. Instance isn't the right word to use here. A rare instance is a female with an independent thought. You know, someone who could say something that she didn't hear someone else say first. And the hilarious thing is, you're a journalist? Really? And you said they tried to kill him? No, they didn't. Those events were staged. And even if they weren't, they were done by Republicans. You're a horrible journalist, dude. A 5-year-old Google can do better journalism. Here, I'll make it simple for you, so maybe you can step out of your father brain. If someone offered you $1 million in cash to guess one name on that list, you only get one guess. And if you get it right, you get the $1 billion. If you get it wrong, you get nothing. What name would you guess? Me personally, I would choose the rare instance guy. You know, Epstein's the best friend for 15 years. I would choose a guy who was on the flight logs. I would choose a guy who was sued with Epstein by Katie Johnson. Great. I would choose a guy who bragged about walking into girls' locker rooms while they're cheating. But that's just me. I'm into stupidly, common sense. I would choose a guy who changes his excuse every other day. I'll release the files. The files don't exist. Obama wrote the files. I would choose a guy who appointed Pam Bondi as Attorney General. Who was Attorney General in Florida when Epstein was doing this, and she didn't bring charges to him. I would choose a guy the Republicans are protecting by voting to not expose the files. You know, Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years for conspiring with Jeffrey Epstein, and most people are disgusted by this. When they hear it, they're disgusted. What did someone say about Ghislaine Maxwell?
I just wish her well. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
Now, why do you think he wished her well? He wished her well because he knows damn well if he said anything negative about her, she might talk. Notice he admitted that he met her numerous times over the years. I guess she lived in Palm Beach. Then how did you meet her numerous times? Were you jogging? Did you see her in Palm in Dixie? Did you see her? Yeah, I used to go to a Waffle House in Palm Beach, and I'd see her once in a while. You know, we fucking know what this is, journalist, and we know what you're doing. And we know he trashes everyone he thinks is a bad person. But someone who's an accomplice to 1,000 girls being trafficked, he didn't say anything negative about her. He wished her well. And the mob idiots were saying he was on the list, then why release it? Because number one, Biden isn't a bashful person. He had a job to do, cleaning up Trump's mess. But you know what's more damning than that, journalist? If someone called me a pedo, and I could release something that would show that I'm not, and I made every excuse in the book to not release it, there would be a reason for that. And we all know the reason. For anyone to think he's not on a list is fucking delusional. He probably had his own wing in Epstein Island. He was most likely a VIP. Here's the thing, fake journalist. If they released the Epstein list and he was on it, not one of you would accept it. Not one of you would believe it. You would all make excuses. You've shown this the last 9 years, okay? But hey, it's really hard to pretend like the list released so it doesn't look like you support a pedo. Way to go.
Yeah, you're giving me all that. Fuck yeah.
Sign's fine, by the way. Okay. Hey, yeah. Okay.
あの異国の船で何が起こっているんだ。
So what are the trust really?
You don't want it. You survived. At least 48. There's no problem. That's no. Now. Does anybody? How is it? A radio now. No one can see us. A radio. It's We're shot. Loading.
Jolly's on Heron. Yeah, Charlie does Heron. Don't worry, it's gonna be gone soon. Look at, I'm so mad.
I'm Charlie, by the way. Pilot. See? No. It's right behind the back. Moving the cushion. Guys, I hope something like that happened. Before the pilot was reached from the cockpit, he did say that he wasn't going to find us. I think that actually see the word. So, is there any sense? No. Okay.
What are you doing? Watching.
So you can tell. I can see. Thinking. I want tangible control.
No. I'm going to begin.
We're tracking together.
Oh my God. Are you alright, sir?
I'm good. Thanks.
Can I get you a dinner?
Fine. Thank you. Please. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has the box of seatbelt sign. Please defend your seat and fasten your seatbelts.
Sir, are you alright? I'm gonna have to ask that you open the door first. Open the door now, sir. Sir. He's found your bag.